Good morning, Reds. Welcome to Cot for That. I am your host, Mark Dutton. I'm sitting here smiling. You can see the smile. Let's be honest. The Crimbo lights are shining in the background. It's snowy outside over in New Jersey. I've got nothing to be upset about. When we look at the result last night, obviously we tied the game 0-0. I'm not saying West Brom parked the bus. I'm not saying that at all. I think you know, we look at Everton. They had one plan and one plan only, and that was to defend the 18-yard box. I think West Brom last night played with a little bit more attack. Following on from the team news yesterday, obviously there was an injury to Mignolet, and Karius comes in as the goalkeeper. I want to centre around Karius a little bit. You know, in an absolute dog of a game, Karius has come up big for me. He's made key saves. West Bromwich Albion keeper, Mr. Foster. Again, I think the former Man United players have haunted us in these last two draws. You look at Rooney scoring a penalty in the derby. You look at Johnny Evans last night, who was absolutely fabulous. Blocking shots, not allowing Liverpool any type of shot from outside the 18, 25 yards out. Himself and his defensive partner just basically stopped Liverpool coming through the centre. So defensively, again, they were magnificent. So the goalkeeper, former Manchester United player, and the centre half, former Manchester United player, had fantastic games. What did we do wrong last night? It's a game of taking chances for me. We come away with a 0-0 draw. We come away with a 1-1 draw against Everton, and again, there's chances in the game for us to win it in both occasions. Now, I don't want to sit here and talk about, oh, the referee gave a dodgy penalty and we lose the derby. Well, again, it feels like a loss even though we draw. And then you talk about last night, was it handball, was it not handball? Well, again, I don't want us bringing on Dominic Solanke and putting all our hopes into one player. And he may have scored, he may not have scored, but the linesman disallows the goal. Again, I'm cheering that like we've just won the World Cup. You look at Klopp's decisions. He's brought on three lads. They've all combined for that goal. Oxlade-Chamberlain comes off the bench again, makes an impact. Gomez comes off the bench and makes an impact, and then Solanke comes off the bench as one cleared off the line. Scores a goal, doesn't score a goal. It's disallowed for handball. So that ball goes in, and I'm a maniac when we score that. You know, we've Solanke. I'm like, that's Solanke, pounding my chest like I don't even know what to do, celebrating like a lunatic last night, and then oh no, the linesman's disallowed the goal for handball. Like the derby, I didn't think it was a penalty, and like last night, I didn't think it was handball. It wasn't deliberate. It kind of cannons off him, hits him on his body. There was no movement of his arm. There's fine lines and margins in the game, and one person will see it one way and one person will see it the other way. So for every 50 people that say it was handball, 50 people will say there's nothing wrong with that. 50 people will say that was a penalty, he pushed him. 50 people will say, well, no, the striker stepped into the attacker and dived. So that's it right now. We should be good enough as a club and a set of supporters to not allow ourselves to rely on the finer margins of the game, and that's what we're doing at the moment. You know, like you said, you go back to Spartak when we smashed them for 7, and everything we do clicks, everything we do works. He goes into the game, and what if he'd flipped it? That's my only thing going into this. I think Klopp had pre-planned everything that he's going to be doing, obviously, for like the next 5 games in such a short period of time, and he's pre-planned the starting lineups, bar injuries, and when he's taking players off, it looks like, again, and when he's bringing players on. So, looking at the games, what if he flips it the other way around? What if he plays his strongest team against Everton? We beat Everton comfortably, because let's be honest, that's the worst performance we've seen in Anfield from an away team, I'm going to say, ever. I mean, I started going the match regularly this season after we won our last championship. That's a long time to go the match without seeing Liverpool win. And it's funny, there's a lot of Reds in my situation where Liverpool just won the league the following season. You start going the match every single week because we're boss, and then we don't win a game. I made a bet, funnily enough. I was in Tenby in South Wales, and I made a bet with a mank called Ryan, and he bet me £5 off the back of Liverpool just winning the league. It was in the summer, it was like a month after the season had just finished. He said, I bet you £5 Liverpool don't win the league for 20 years. And I went, go ahead, I'll take that bet. What a knobhead I look now. 20 years on. Who makes a 20-year bet? I don't even... 1990, I was about 11 years old. Who makes a 20-year bet? 20 years, £5, Liverpool won't win the league. Well, guess what? There's the curse of Liverpool Football Club on this lad right here. You can blame him, because that's what it feels like. Obviously, it's been a lot longer than that. But, yeah, so Ryan, if you're out there, I've tried to look you up on Facebook. I can't see where you are. I don't know if you'd exist anymore, but yeah, I owe you the £5, lad. So if you want to come and get it, you know where I am. Yeah, so if he flips the games, we boss Everton, we win it. Then we come into West Brom and Anfield's rocking. Then he changes the team and he brings in, say, Solanke, say Oxlade-Chamberlain, and you know, the fullback situation. They just kind of rotate. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter to me who plays left or right back. I think they're all good enough to play there. So he rotates the fullbacks as well. Changes his midfield a little bit. And we draw with West Brom. We're not bothered about that then. But as the catch-22, he plays. I'm going to stop calling them the Fab Four now, because I don't think they are the Fab Four. He plays the four players that everybody wanted to see in the derby. He plays them last night. And guess what happened? We drew 0-0. And again, we're lacking quality up front for me. We're lacking the striker. We're lacking the fouler, the number 9. All the balls we played in the derby were great quality crosses into the box. And we were Gascoigne, Euro 96 away from scoring goals. I mean, it was half a stud. And that was basically Liverpool's attack. There was no shots from the outside. There was no shots from the outside because Everton were blocking every single shot that could be played in. There was no room for shooting from outside. West Brom last night was exactly the same thing. They were set up around the 18-yard box, strong defensive, and we could not shoot the ball through. There was no shots. The thing that did my head in about the game last night was the amount of fans in the Kop, in the main stand, in the Kenny Dalglish stand, in the Annie Road, they were yelling shoot. What are you yelling shoot for? I coach soccer, football. I coach it, and if my parents are yelling shoot, I stop the game, or I address the parents and say, listen, can you please stop doing that? Number one, you're setting panic into the players. But number two, there's no shot to be had. Stop yelling shoot, let the players on the field make their own decision. Same with Karius in goal last night. The amount of abuse he was getting for not distributing the ball quick enough. There was no one on. So let him take his time, let him relax. That's where we're gonna fall into a trap of making a mistake. If everyone's yelling at Karius to get rid of the ball, throw the ball, he's open it, he's gonna rush, he's gonna panic, he's gonna make a mistake. Like I said, fair play to Karius last night. I think he was our man of the match. There was nothing in that game in relation to quality around the goal. Like I said, it was lacking a striker. We put 3 or 4 beautiful crosses in and we were inches away. Bobby's got to score. I don't think Bobby's a striker. So the answer for me is obviously we need a captain, number one. There needs to be a leader on this field. There's no captain in this team. We are a ship without a captain, just sailing across the sea. We've got a quality crew. We've got the best ship in the fleet. There's nobody taking control of this group. Not from the goalie. There's defenders. Jordan Henderson is not a captain of this team. He's just not. So we need a captain. Someone's got to emerge from somewhere. Maybe we invest a lot of money in Virgil van Dijk. He comes in as a leader. We need a captain in this team. There's no captain on the bench. There's no captain in the squad. So we need a captain. That's a massive problem. You know, we can talk about Naby Keita coming in at the end of next season. Great. He's coming in at the end of next season. He's a tough tackling central midfielder / he can play in a 3 and attack wide. He's a dribbling machine. He takes players on for fun. He can shoot a ball. Hopefully he comes in, takes that number 8. That we move on from Gerrard then, because we're kind of stuck in that situation. And I feel sorry for Jordan, but he's not the player that Steven is. So we bring in Keita. Maybe Keita comes in as the captain of the team. But right now we've got no Keita. We've got no captain. Is Keita the answer? But you know, we're talking about Keita. We shouldn't even be having a discussion about Keita. He's not coming until next season. Next season, and again, it might be a bit too far. Liverpool need to be consistently in the Champions League. A lot centres around the number 14, and that's my number. I always wore 14. I'm attached to 14. Ian Rush come off the bench in the famous cup final against Everton wearing number 14, and I was just hooked after that. Xavi Alonso after that, one of my favourite Liverpool players of all time. And then Jordan Henderson gets the number 14. And I backed Hendo, and I will continue to back Hendo, but not playing in a position he's playing. I want to see him playing in a central midfield role in a 2, not in a 3 as a defensive centre mid. Doesn't work, and it's killing the lad. So yeah, 14. 14 was a massive number last night. 14, West Brom come in, consecutive games without a win. 14. So last night we've drawn against a team who has the worst record in its own club's history for not winning games, and we can't beat them. So there's number 14 there. And then 14 points we've dropped this season. 14 from the amount of draws that we've got. So that's huge that you add those points to our tally. You know, think about it, 9 days ago we're talking about going third. We're going above Chelsea. Again, going back to the derby, we beat them. The teams around us are dropping points. We go into third place. Now we've dropped down to 5th. It's going to be a struggle to get to the Champions League this season, and for Liverpool to push on in the way we want them to push on, and you know, in the hopes of keeping the players like Emre Can, like Coutinho. We need to keep qualifying for the Champions League and do better than we did last year. And I thought we really could have pushed on to get third. I don't think seconds there this season. I think, and I don't know how Man United are there. The amount of garbage you're seeing displayed by Manchester United when they're kind of looking and central around one player, which is Pogba. It's like when Pogba's in, they look a better team. When Pogba's not there, they look a mess. They look poor. And Lukaku's getting a massive amount of criticism last night. But you know what? Let's not focus on them. So let's just say City win the league. And again, I said City would win the league after Mourinho rocked in with the big red machine, that big bus, and parked it in Anfield, and didn't allow Liverpool a chance on goal. So, and again, De Gea makes some great saves. So City and Man United 1 and 2. Third was there. You know, Chelsea haven't got the squad that they had 2 seasons ago, maybe even a season ago. They look light, but there's still quality through their squad, like Liverpool's squad. But what if they got better than us? They've got a better goalkeeper, they've got stronger central defenders, stronger midfield, and probably a stronger forward line. Well, they've got Morata, who's incredible. So you put them in a third. So then you're competing for 4th. Arsenal, they're not going to come 4th. So then you're looking at, you've got to put Burnley into the conversation off the back of what Leicester did. You've got to bring them into the party now. Burnley, phenomenal. You know, they're in those positions. Could they pip 4th place and take it away from Spurs and Liverpool? They might do if they continue the run of form. They look great at the back. They're winning games 1-0. They've got a strong midfield. They've got a great set of players and a quality coach. We've got to just push on in January. There's got to be changes. We've got to push aggressively for a goalkeeper, in my opinion. We've got to push aggressively for a midfielder that can score goals and can dribble a ball, because at the moment the passing sideways, getting the ball wide into the box, it's not there. A striker would be awesome. So you're looking at 4 players in January. It's not going to happen. So we need to start turning these draws into wins, and we need to start doing it quickly. You know, drawing 5 games at Anfield is not acceptable. 4 wins and 5 draws. That needs to change. It needs to change. It needs to change dramatically. You look at the teams around us that are playing. I think, you know, City have drawn 1 game at home, won the rest. Manchester United have lost 1 game at home and won the rest. So Liverpool's form at Anfield is what's been our biggest Achilles heel this season. And again, what's mentally wrong with this team? I think the ground has a lot to do with it. I think Anfield as a whole needs to step up its ideas. Klopp goes on about it all the time, but again, Klopp and the stadium have to be as one. They have to move as one. They have to react as one. So when Klopp's animated on the sideline negatively, I feel like the crowd are negative. When he's animated in a positive way and he's moving his arms around and he's getting everybody going, I think it has a positive effect. So the last two games for me, he's been negative on the sidelines and the crowd's been poor. Again, even in the derby it was poor. But especially last night, there was a lot of negativity going on through the ground. And again, you've got to back your team. You've got to back them. You've got to get behind them. Anfield's got to be a place that rocks and a scary fortress. I think since this main stand, or the library that we call it maybe, has been built, the atmosphere in that area of the field has just died. It was never good there anyway. I mean, other than the Kop and a small pocket in the Anfield Road end, you basically got the Kenny Dalglish stand as it is now, and the new main stand. it's dead. It's dead. It's full of people that don't want to sing and look at you funny if you do sing. I've been in those stands, and you know, I was born on the Cop. That's where my season ticket is. That's where I belong. And when I'm in a different part of the stadium, I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's going on here? Like, you're at the match, jump up around, get animated. You stand up in the main stand or the Kenny Dalglish stand, and people look at you like you got two heads. What you doing, lad? Sit down. What? You know, the days are going where you stand up in the Cop the entire game, screaming and shouting and yelling. Even some of the people in the Cop tell you to sit down and shut up. So the atmosphere at the ground needs to improve. The football that we're playing in relation to possession is boss. We just need to finish the chances that we're creating, because again, some of the balls that we played in last night were class. And another day, Solanke, when he comes on the bench, he scores the winning goal. On another day, Mo Salah scores a header. He has another chance he could have scored. Bobby Firmino in the first half should have scored. There's a couple of other good chances, but we're not making goalies make saves. So we need somebody in midfield that can unlock a defence, and that's key. So again, I don't know what we're going to do January. Virgil van Dijk is a must, just because he's a strong presence in the middle of the park, and I think we need that. And then I don't know. I mean, what's the other option? I think Lamar over at Monaco, but then do we lose Coutinho to bring in the money to bring him in? He's a wide midfield player. I don't know that we need more wide midfield players. We're getting in behind teams on the outside. It's just when we get the ball into central areas, there's nobody really there attacking the ball and scoring the goals. My favourite goal in football is get the ball to the line, cut the ball back, tap it in from 6 yards. You know, very similar to the goal we scored against Spartak Moscow, when we've got in on the right side and we've just cut the ball back and we've just stroked the ball in the corner from Philip Coutinho. We need to get the players that heads aren't there. We need to get them right. Emre Can, sign the contract. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what Liverpool are doing. It should never have got to this. I think making Henderson captain was a mistake. I think Emre Can could have really emerged in that role. Maybe Emre Can could have been the captain of this team. I feel like he's going to sign a contract with Juventus, and he's obviously going. And then if we lose Phil in January, we just got to bring in quality again. We shouldn't be selling our best players in the stadium that we're in. The fan support that we have, we should be looking to attract the superstars. And I don't think there's a marquee player knocking on the door saying, you know, sign me. Another shout would be Falcao. Look at Falcao right now. I would love to see a Falcao type player playing as a striker for Liverpool. You know, he's not mobile, but what is he? He's brilliant with fast players around him. You would put speed all around Falcao. Falcao is world class. You know, he was in a Manchester United team that was not quick. You know, gone were the days of Ryan Giggs marauding down the wing, Andrei Kanchelskis marauding down the other wing, whacking balls into the top striker, scoring goals. So I think we need a centre forward. We need a centre forward of quality. I don't think there's anything better than Daniel Sturridge. I don't think there's anything that we can do to bring in a striker that is better than Sturridge. Where is Sturridge right now? Is he injured again? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Daniel. I would love him to be awesome. I've got his framed picture on the wall right there. His shirt, should I say, which is me pride and joy. I would love to see Daniel Sturridge play and get a run of games and a run of minutes. But I don't know if that's ever happening. So that's it. It's been a disappointing derby, a disappointing West Brom game last night. Hopefully Klopp has a masterstroke this weekend when we go down to Bournemouth and we play well, we score goals, we come away. I think again, let's be positive, Reds. 2 more wins and this will all be forgotten. 2 more wins and we'll be saying, right, hopefully back in the top 4 and let's try and cement a place there. Like I said, my name is Mark Dutton. This has been Cough for That. I'll be looking to do another show over the weekend in the back of the Bournemouth game. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, get behind the team, boys. I think we'll be all right in the end. You'll never walk alone, everybody. Enjoy your day.